I think I can remember one of my seniors, Hamdi, currently studying at Harvard. He told me to explore outside of my comfort zone. I'm really interested in machine learning and AI. During semester 2 at QUAM, I did a project with some of my friends, which is predicting chemical toxicity based on different chemical structure. So from there, my interest in AI and machine learning grew. My advice for those wishing to pursue the same path as mine is to learn as much as you can and to take all the opportunities that come your way. As computer science is not just about you doing your own thing. I think this relates to other subject as well.
Hi, I'm Henry.
Hi everyone, I'm Shusin. So today we'll talk a bit about how to apply to Australia and how's the process in general to apply to an Australian university. So let me introduce our guest speaker today, Syahrul.
Hi, my name is Ahmad Sharazi Mazmi. You guys can just call me Syahrul. I'm an A-level graduate from College SIEM. Currently, I'm holding 4 offers from UK and 2 offers from Australia. I think
Congrats.
that's all about me.
Yeah, great. So, maybe like Syahrul, you can share like which university that you got offer from in Australia?
I've received one offer from University of Sydney and one offer from University of Melbourne.
Yeah. So maybe from there we can ask the follow-up question. It's like, why did you decided to apply to Australia?
Initially, I just wanted to make Australia as my backup plan in case I messed up my UK application. But the more I did my research on Australian university, I feel more attracted to Australia. I fell in love with their culture, with their people, and their education system. And the country has its own charms, its own beauty that I want to explore in the future. At the same time, I feel like trying something outside my comfort zone. I think I can remember one of my seniors, Hamdi, currently studying at Harvard. He told me to explore outside of my comfort zone. So I think it'll be great if I go to Australia and I can start over with a new group of people, a new system of education, different from UK system that we are used to right now, and a whole new experience. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that
Wow.
sounds interesting. Like, is there anything unique about Australia that you can't find in UK universities?
If you ask me, I'll answer. I can meet some kangaroos. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm,
And
okay.
penguins.
yeah, I'm really interested about the environment and ecosystem. You know, I've been advocating for environment since my high school, and I'm involved with
Mm,
environmental awareness campaign at my college. So I feel interested to explore more about their nature.
mm. So, Cheryl, can you share more about what course did you apply for and what inspired you to do the course?
I had applied for computer science, and I believe that um I was motivated to do medicine, you know, like those typical Asian dream to do medicine. But then early 2020, before COVID hits Malaysia, I went to this one leadership camp organized by TND. And that was my first time I heard the term data science.
Mm.
And from there, I think I'm interested to do computer science. And since that moment, I don't feel like doing medicine anymore. I've I've had enough of biology. So from there, I pursue my interest to do computer science.
Yeah. So, maybe like, what is the application of computer science that in real life that you have saw, and then you feel like, okay, that is really what I wanted to venture into.
Um, I'm really interested in machine learning and AI. During semester 2 at QUAM, I did a project with some of my friends, which is predicting chemical toxicity based on different chemical structure. So from there, my interest in AI and machine learning grows. Before this, I want to do software engineering, that kind of thing. But then after I've discovered machine learning and AI, I'm not going back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I see like what is so powerful about it because
Yeah.
it can impact everything in our daily life right now.
Actually, that project was meant to reduce animal testing in industry. So
Ah,
that's our first step.
Okay, so I feel like maybe right now you can actually share a bit of applying to the Australian university and then how you start with and then what is the process and then when do you get the results back or feedback from the university itself.
Okay, so application to Australian universities are really different compared to UK and US because they don't have a centralized system like Common App. So applying to your Australian university, you have to open up account at different website based on the uni. So I started my application in early semester 4 after I've received all of my UCAS decision. I know that's pretty late, so my first advice is to start early in your application. Don't start late like me because I have to rush through my application. And application for Australian university are solely based on academics. You don't have to write any personal statement unless for scholarship application for that uni. And make sure that you achieve a minimum of 7.5 for IELTS. And I think that's all. Make sure that you have a really good academic progress throughout your years at your college. And that's all. But I think the hardest part of applying to Australian university is that you don't have anyone to refer to. Only some of our seniors or people that I know studying in Australia. So it is really hard to contact them and get info on how to apply to those universities, especially when they have different sites for application and they have different timeline, they have different deadline, they have different requirements. So it is a bit hard to keep track of all of that since they have different sites and different thing to keep track of. So I think those are two main difficulties that I have to face during the application and different timeline of application. Like UK and US, you submit through Common App and UCAS, so you don't have to think much. You have one almost the same deadline and the same site. But for Australian universities, their deadline is a bit weird. Sometimes it's just you can submit application 2 weeks or 3 weeks before you start your class. So you have a really long time for application. But you have to keep in mind that most Australian universities doesn't accept your predicted grades. And that's why I applied to Melbourne and Sydney because those are the only unis that I can apply to. Yeah, other unis won't accept predicted grades.
so they
And
want like both AS and A2?
yeah, they want the final result. So usually for Australian application, we apply after A2 results come out. But yeah, by the way, they have different intakes, which is July and February. So that's one thing that we have to keep in mind because if we apply to July, we won't get our result yet. Meanwhile, if we apply for February next year, we can apply to all universities since we already get our result. So those are the difference. And it actually it's up to your sponsor whether you can start in July or February because for my sponsor, BNM, I have to start in February. So I can apply after my results come out. And I think one of the best thing I've learned throughout this process is learning about different cultures in Australia in terms of social, academic, and politics. Because we are used to UK academic system, and in Australia they are really different. They don't really rely on solely on academics. They have their own extracurricular activities that will count as part of your degree. So it's not just about academics compared to UK. Yeah, I think that's all about my application. But one thing I want to add is that you can consult IDP Australia for application. They will help you a lot for application. You just have to compile all the documents they need and submit to them, and they will help through everything through the application process and after you get your result. And I think I got my offers from Sydney around 2 weeks after my application and Melbourne around 1 month after my application.
Yeah, I think like since you had talked about like applying to Australia and then like you mentioned like the education system at Australia is kind of different because like they are more holistic, right? Between like academic you have to take care of and also your extracurricular activities. So
Yeah.
may I know like what is the other factors that you would choose at Australia? Because I remember like you told us that it's more relaxing there.
Yeah, because their academic system is not 100% on lectures, on exams compared to UK. So you can actually explore the thing that you like instead of just studying in class, spending your time in studying for exams. And at the same time, you have more hand-on experience compared to UK because you'll go into the labs, you'll do your lab work, and that is part of your degree. Compared to UK, you just have exams, you do maths, you do sciences, but you rarely got into labs to explore your hands-on skills. And I think that is one thing I'm attracted to Australia compared to the UK.
Mm,
I think it's more like US system where you'll have
Mm,
more hands-on experience compared to just classes and lectures.
yeah, so
mm.
maybe Australia is kind of like a mix of both US and UK.
Yeah,
Maybe like to dive into a little bit deeper is like, is there any like difference in like the syllabus or like the resources that they will use in education, whether like the Australia is better for your course or like the UK?
I think that's actually hard to answer. It's based on you. If you think that you want more hands-on experience, I would recommend Australia. But if you like the academic part of the subject, I would suggest UK because for my subjects, computer science, there are two different branches that you can go. It's either application of computer science or the mathematical parts of computer science, the science part of computer science. So if you prefer to learn more about the mathematics and science behind the computer science, I would suggest you go to UK. And if you want more about programming, about application, I would suggest you to go to Australia because those are the differences in syllabus in UK and Australia. If you feel like, oh, I want to do more application, I want to build robots, you want to do machine learning stuff, you want to apply to embedded system of computer science, then Australia is your place. But for me, I love the mathematical parts of computer science. How does mathematics work in machine learning? How the mathematics works in artificial intelligence? So I think I'm leaning towards UK for now because all the science part of computer science.
Ah, all right. So I think like a lot of people they actually like say that Australia is too close to home, like to Malaysia, and then since the system is similar to the UK, right? So students usually prefer going to UK instead. So, but I think like you're looking at the syllabus itself instead of like the distance, right?
Yeah, because I feel like even though UK is far, but you have more Malaysian students, and even though Australia is nearer to Malaysia, but their Malaysian students community is not as large as UK. So it doesn't matter where you go. UK is further away, but you have larger community of Malaysian students. Meanwhile, even though Australia is nearer, you have less or smaller communities of Malaysian students. So to be honest, both are outside my comfort zone, and that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So I think like for everyone applying or deciding, just take into account like what are you looking for? Do you want somewhere where there's no Malaysians or like maybe some friends that you can go to for support, right? And also like what kind of academic environment do you want? Do you want more mathematical, more scientific, or just a lot of hands-on opportunities? So just take into account all this and make a decision, right? Okay. So, do you have any future plans, like what you hope to go in, like which industry you hope to go into in the future? And can you share some advice to others who are also going on this path into computer science, into STEM?
To be honest, I don't really have a plan. I just go with the flow and see where fate brings me to. I'm planning to pursue my master after 2 or 3 years serving my bond with Benegara. And I'm planning to complete my PhD in theoretical computer science. I think PhD is my biggest
Wow.
goal of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can do it.
Yeah.
My advice for those wishing to pursue the same path as mine is to learn as much as you can and to take all the opportunities that come your way. Because life is a journey and it's not about the destination, it's about the process. So when you are doing your A level, learn as much as you can, meet a lot of new people. I meet Henry and Shusin here. I learn a lot from them. And I got opportunities to volunteers in Hero Society with Shusin. I got the opportunity to do projects with my friends and just learn as much as you can because computer science is not just about you doing your own thing. I think this relates to other subject as well.
So, can you actually share about like the Australian scholarship that you have researched into, and then maybe the living cost there, like the general lifestyle, accommodation, meal plan, like what about this kind of thing in Australia?
Okay, so for scholarship, currently I'm a B&M scholar, so they sponsor to Australia, and that is one Malaysian scholarship I know. And from the university, you can apply directly with the university. So they have their own
Mm,
scholarship and they have their own sponsorship for the program.
yeah.
Meanwhile, for the living costs, Australia is a bit cheaper than UK, but it's not much difference anyway. Um, Compared between Sydney and Melbourne, Melbourne is cheaper than Sydney because Sydney is a really big city and Melbourne is a smaller city compared to Sydney. About cost of living, accommodation, I think it's not that much different from UK. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's all I know from Australian university.
So basically, like it is just like more or less the same as like the lifestyle or like the living condition at UK, right?
Yeah, it's not much different. You
So,
have to invest more on bug sprays.
Oh, bug
bug
sprays.
spray.
That's the thing about living in nature. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like actually there's no difference between UK or Australia, right? So the only way that you can actually go and navigate or differentiate between these two is like from the education system there, and then like what type of learning environment that you actually looking forward to, like for your higher education, right? So I think education is the more prominent one that you can use to differentiate it.
Like follow up to the previous question. So do students live on campus? Like are there dorms? But because I heard like in UK, especially those in London, a lot of people because of like rental fees, they choose to live outside because it's too expensive to live on campus.
Um, for Australian universities, some of them have a student hall, the same as UK.
Mm.
They have dorms, but sometimes they prefer to stay outside because it's cheaper compared to student hall. And
Mm.
student hall, you have the option for uh, catered hall or non-catered hall, so you don't have
Mm.
to think about food. But for me personally, I prefer to stay outside because you study in the university, then you stay at the student hall. So you spend a lot of time in the university instead of living at the city itself.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess it's more or less the same as the UK as well. And the
Yeah.
I think for those who really want to experience the study abroad experience, then yeah, you definitely should go more like out in the city and maybe live outside for 1 or 2 years to get the full experience.
Okay, so I think like that is so far what we like to explore more about Australia application. So um maybe as a closing remark, like if you could turn back time, like what would you do differently actually throughout your whole application, whether it's in Australia or like your general academic?
That's a really hard question. I think the first thing that I want to do is to start my application early. Instead of doing it in semester 4, I should start at semester 3 because I have to rush through my application. I have to compile my documents in less than 1 week before I submit to IDP Australia. I think that was one of my biggest mistakes. If I could turn back time, I won't do that again. And second thing is that I want to plan my schedule carefully because during the university application season, I have to deal with UK application, US application, Australian application simultaneously. Track of ACs, application forms, and deadline all at the same time for different countries. So it is really complicated. And because of that, I have to drop my US application. And that's one thing that I really regret because seeing my friends got offers to US, but I didn't even apply. So that was that was one of my biggest regret in KY. But other than that, I don't think I want to change anything because I if I change something, I won't end up where I am right now. If you change the initial condition, it might cause a large difference in the outcome. So
Yeah.
my application and I want to plan my schedule better compared to before. And I won't change anything else. I just grateful to be where I am right now.
Yeah, I'm sure like the current state is the best state that we are having right now. So it's just that maybe
Yeah.
we can turn something earlier so we won't be feeling too rushed at the end of the time, right?
Yeah. You know, I still regret my decision to drop my US application.
Oh,
It's
okay.
okay. You might be able to do masters or PhD there one day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for that.
Yeah. Do you have any final words for everyone who's watching this?
I don't have much to say. Just stop comparing yourself with others. Just be grateful of who you are and just do your best. Because, you know, if you always compare yourself with others, you won't feel grateful with what you have in the future. Like what am I, and if your plan didn't work, just go with the flow. And if you need any help for application, just contact IDP Australia. You can find them online. Yeah, I think that's my final remark for this interview.
Yeah, everything is good. So just a disclaimer, like just now it's not a promotion. So it's just like a very good advice for everyone to just seek for their help and then they will really guide you throughout the whole application, right?
Yeah, they'll guide you from documents and application, and they will even sign up for university website, so you don't have to think about it.
Ah, I
Mm,
see.
And
all right.
one more thing to add, they will help with your visa application as well.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay. Full
Yeah,
package.
yeah, UK and Australia, they will help with
Mm.
your visa application.
so one thing to ask, like, is it like free of charge or like you charge some fund like throughout the whole application?
It is free of charge. Yeah, just contact them anytime and you can ask for help.
So I guess all the best to Syahrul when you're in the UK, and hopefully one day you still like pursue your dreams of going to both Australia or US or other amazing universities out there.
Mm.
Good luck
Yeah.
for you too as well. Good luck in Cornell. Good luck in Harvard.
Yeah, all the
And
best too.
send my regards to Hamdi if you met him at Harvard.
Definitely. Yeah.
I think that's all. And then thank you so much for listening to this episode. And then we'll see you in the next episode.